Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is a guest video from Demolition Hound in the recently buffed Delta Gundam. Uh, Matter of fact, I'd say recently unnerfed Delta Gundam is probably a better assessment of the situation because it was really overpowering when it first got introduced. It got a nerf. It lost a lot of its hit points, which reduced the utility of its anti-beam coating skill, and then yeah, as the game progressed, it generally just dropped off and finally got its hit points back after another round of earlier buffs this last month. Since the new patch notes went up yesterday, I can actually look at the results of the buffs, so that will be handy because yeah, that will we'll get to see exactly how much help they were in addition to what they did. So that'll be nice. Apparently, though, somebody was telling me I think it was Lord Anubis Gaming in the comments was telling me that for some reason the all of the previous news posts on the GBO2 website from before the beginning of this year are gone. I think that is really honestly quite foolish. I I feel like those should be up for people to be able to look at whenever they want, just so they can see what has been buffed that they might not have used in a zillion years. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know if maybe they're still there on the Japanese version of the site or what, but yeah, I that or, it could be a storage issue since the price of storage is, ballooning. Who knows? But regardless, yeah, Delta Gundam, pretty good support, has got an extra 5 points of ranged mod, so it's hitting harder than it ever did before. It was the first thing to have the anti-beam coating skill, which they adjusted the ballistic equivalent recently so that it's not quite as, I want to say, draconian. Let's use that as the word that I'm not looking for, but will do, I guess. But either way, the anti-beam coating, when you get down to about half health, your beam defense goes from having whatever the stat is plus extra damage reduction and stun defense from beams to 0, which doesn't make any sense to me because like it is a coating. Like the underlying armor of the mobile suit shouldn't be any different from anything else named Gundam from this general era, so it should be probably, I want to say, probably Gundarium Gamma. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it, but yeah, there's a lot of decisions I don't really understand, especially since they've done this, since they've fixed that aspect of the ballistic equivalent. That said, from what I looked at briefly, and like I said, we'll look at the numbers after the round. They did adjust the adjustments to the Delta did make it perform better. So since it's, I think, one of the few things in the game with level 1 anti-beam coating, that skill's probably not going to get changed again anytime soon. I think the only other thing that has it is the Zaku Machinery EB. The Hyakushiki itself, which of course is the originator of the anti-beam coating, it doesn't actually have that as a skill because it predated by a good bit. Instead, it just has very high beam defense, which can be maxed out fairly easily even at the first level, and then at higher levels, you can get its defense up to just about everything. But yeah, you can see the defense down there on Demo's hit point indicator in the lower right. That is the effect of the beam coating, and it is specifically beam defense down. So anything that tags him is going to be with a beam is going to be a problem. But let's see. At the moment, yeah, there's meant to send sorry, sent thanks instead. I do that all the time, and I feel really dumb about it because I'm generally not trying to be sarcastic when I send thanks. Not always. Sometimes I am. It's to be honest, it's a habit I've tried to get over just because I feel like, you know, I'm not I'm not big well versed on military concepts, but in this game I can say for sure that morale is definitely a thing. Once the sarcastic tells start flying and everybody is annoyed, the team doesn't really trust each other anymore, the round goes badly. So yeah, that's why I've been trying to break myself of that habit, because hey, it is an opportunity to have less frustration in the world for 5 minutes, and who can pass that up, honestly? See, that is the Yagdoga sleeves version that just got blown up behind that barricade. It is, I think that's what the 3A I think is what took a demo out last time, but the Yagdoga did tag him at least once. But yeah, I like the Delta Gundam. Yeah, the design I think is just basically supposed to be, what if they perfected the Hyakushiki, which was always supposed to be a transforming suit, made it work as one, and that's a good concept. Basically, the idea was that they couldn't get since basically all they had when they worked on the Hyakushiki were more or less rumors of the Gundam Mark II or their earliest data. They couldn't really get it working as a transformable suit with the movable frame technology that the Mark II was starting to introduce. So instead they just made it into a more standard mobile suit. Maybe garbling like 2 or 3 different things, but to be honest, my headcanon for why the Hyakushiki was gold was not the anti-beam coating thing, especially since the later suits, like I believe the Full Armor Double Zeta, have the coating and it's not shiny gold. It's more like, the Brick DS went into mass production, and in honor of Quattro, they made all of them the same red that he used originally, and his response was like, okay, screw you. I still want to stand out. Let's take this to the next level. Again, this is just me making stuff up. That's what headcanon generally is. But okay, yeah, RF Dom, forgot about that. But yeah, I have rambled about almost everything except the round, but that's just the headspace is kind of lumpy tonight. So, and my sinuses are just kind of trying to kill me. Like they have been bad for days as the weather's kind of gotten weird. So, we didn't get the big snow earlier this week where I am, but it looks like we're going to get some kind of snow next, like Monday or Tuesday, when my dad has to go to the doctor. So, of course. But yeah, that was a good round. Some good damage by demo. That fight in the tunnel was a good use of the anti-beam coating to get close to the person hiding down there, and tank some stuns. And yeah, a demo ran away with it. 6570 out of 19,000 and 186,000 damage. Very nice. 8 and 3 too. Yeah. So that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We will be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later. Okay, so the changes they made, they gave it another 2,500 hit points. It went at level 1, it went from 14,500 to 17,000. Gave it 5 points of ranged attack, went from 40 to 45 at level 1. Got 1 slot in each of the 3 locations, went from 13 close and 16 each in mid and long to 14, 17, 17. Got an extra level of wing special cushioning for the backpack. Went to level 3 on the first level one. Went to level 4 on the level 2. It's confusing to say it that way. The beam rifle got 2 extra rounds of ammo. Went from 3 to 5, and the reload time shortened by 2 seconds. It's now 10 seconds instead of 12. The rapid fire subweapon version of the beam rifle, power went from 400 per shot to 500. Cooldown between bursts went from 1.5 seconds to 1, and it has higher build stun now. The twin beam guns on the shield now do 1,200 damage per shot at level 1 instead of 1,000. Cooldown time between shots is now 4 seconds instead of 6. And the weapon swap time got shortened. All of that would apply to the transformed mode does. No special other updates to the transformed mode though. Brain, come on. Okay, yeah. So before the adjustments at 600, the level 1 was winning 43.9% of the time. The average for supports at 600 is 50.7. Now it's at 50.8, so that is, spot on. Rival win rate for supports 51.2% on average. Delta was doing 40.7. It's now up to 53.1. So a little bit above average there. Likewise, the damage went a little bit above average. The average for supports at that cost, 95,000. It is now doing 103,000 on average, when it was doing 75 before. MS losses are still a little bit above average. 3.2 is where the support average is. 3.5 is where it was. It's now at 3.4. At 650, yeah, it was doing pretty similarly badly. The average win rate for supports at 650, 51%. It was at 42.8. It's now at 50.6. Let's see. The rival win rate was really terrible for the level 2 Delta Gundam. 51.3 is the support average. 36.6 is where it was, and it's now to 52.9. That is a huge improvement. The improvement to damage, similarly huge, but not as far off of the average damage for supports. 98,014 is where the average is. Delta Gundam was averaging 70,000 before the buffs and 100,000 after. So, yeah, pretty much within expectations. And actually got better improvements on MS losses at 650 as well. 3.2 is the average for supports there too. 3.9 is where it was. Now it's at 3.3. So yeah, that is a huge improvement.